Hi, this is Ian Wright, and welcome to part 8 of my kind of introduction to meditation, which is, in some ways, it's just going through some basic foundation work when you're learning to meditate using any of the different kind of processes and techniques. It's just some kind of, in some ways, it's some tricks that I've learned over the years in teaching this and working with this. So we started out in the process with, which I think is the most important part of all, if you take one thing from this group of exercises, is to find this state of neutral where we kind of take our brain out of gear. If our brain is active, it's incredibly hard to start any process of meditation. But actually, what we're going to do today is going to take a slightly different blend to that, which actually is going to give us a different way through. So in order to start finding our neutral, we're presented with our mind, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. And the first process in kind of refinding that neutral is accepting that we have thoughts, feelings, and emotions, fully allowing that. Every time we allow something, it softens our brain. Every time we don't allow something tightens. It literally feels like it tightens in our nervous system. So we do the opposite. We allow it. And by allowing it, it gives it a little space to breathe. And actually, everything needs to breathe. Our nervous systems need to breathe freely and quietly in order to have a satisfactory experience. So we allow, and then we come to just watch any thoughts, feelings, and emotions as they come up, because they're always going to come up. We could be in this beautiful place of deep connection with stillness and oneness even, but something can come into our brain, and that's completely normal, and it's fine. And we just go, okay, that's fine, that's interesting, I'll just let that be and watch it. Then after that, we started to look at our attention. And for me personally, attention is the key to any of these kind of processes. And we're going to develop that a little bit today. And we looked at time, allowing ourselves to move forwards and backwards in time so that we can become aware of where our attention lies. So what we're doing, there's an underlying process, mental process actually, in this work, which is to become aware, to become conscious. So we looked at time, we looked at place. It's part of our attention somewhere else, with somebody else, with the who, with the where. Also, thought, is it with a piece of work I'm doing, like a lecture I'm writing, or with whatever, what I need to do at the bank. These are abstract mental concepts. So our mind can have what I would call fulcrums, different fulcrums in different places, like in some time, some location, some place, and often in our busy minds, where our attention is dragged in 50 different places at once, it's very hard for it to return to ourselves. And what we do, and this is what I do in my practice as an osteopath, is bring people back from wherever they are. First, allow them to come back into their bodies, because then their bodies can start healing. It's a fundamental first principle of, someone has to be there in order to make change. And that's true when we're working internally on ourselves. We have to arrive. And the point is we don't pull ourselves back from wherever we are. We just accept, we bring consciousness to the fact that part of our attention is somewhere. And that observation brings it back. It's amazing. It actually, all you have to do, you don't actually have to do anything but bring your conscious attention to where you are. And then it shifts, it makes a change. And so as you go on in the work, you don't have to kind of try and find this neutral, first of all. You actually can just bring your conscious attention to where you are, and you bring this sense of attention, which brings a sense of consciousness. So by being conscious, you are conscious of yourself. And there's something very powerful about being conscious. It doesn't matter if you're angry, upset, irritable, happy, sad. If part of you is conscious of that, it changes it. It has an effect of strengthening your sense of self and your self-awareness, because if you are conscious of something without judging it, and conscious of yourself without judging yourself, it brings a certain potency. And it's a very simple thing, really. But it's very, very, actually, it's difficult because we're usually completely unconscious of ourselves. We're unconscious of our actions or our, what I would call our reactions in the world. And actually, by bringing conscious awareness to something is enough, because we see what we're doing and we're aware. And actually, so naturally, if we are conscious, it naturally changes our behavior. We become aware. And so that's a very important, for me, part of a meditative process, to bring a sense of consciousness. And consciousness brings this aliveness to ourselves. It's an interesting thing. It brings this kind of light in the eyes, this consciousness. And let's just explore that a little bit in a meditation. So you can do this any way you like, sitting, standing, running. Meditation in the end doesn't have to be sitting in a full lotus posture. You can do it, cycling to work, or you can do it standing on the bus, or you can actually do it while you're having a conversation with somebody. But at the beginning, it's quite nice to do it where you're peaceful, quiet, and you can just spend a little bit of time returning to yourself. So just be aware of where your attention is. Is your attention is with me and what I'm saying? Fine, allow that. Just get a sense of your body without judging it. Feel your body. That's a nice way to kind of return to ourselves, is just to feel your body. But as soon as we feel our bodies, we go, oh, do you know that knee's a bit painful, or my back's a bit tight, or whatever. That's fine. Just completely allow those feelings. They are just feelings. So you accept you have feelings, you allow those feelings, and you just observe them. And become conscious and aware that your attention is there. Now you can test this. You can just think for a second about something you're kind of looking forward to doing in the next few days, be it going home from work, be it the weekend, or a nice dinner you're looking at cooking or something. Just take your conscious awareness to that for a second, or whatever. Something in the future. Now, just become aware that your consciousness is there. And that's it. So what we do is we become aware of where our attention is. So we watch our attention, and the thing is when we are watching our attention, when we're conscious of where our attention is, what is conscious of the attention? It's our true selves, it's our self. And that self is not disturbed by our day, by whatever needs to happen, whatever will happen, whatever has happened, it is perfectly calm and whole. And so this wholeness, which is you, is conscious of these ups and downs, these waves of thoughts, feelings, fulcrums that draw us in different directions. And you just watch them with conscious awareness. And by doing that, it's like your energy returns to you. It's actually a very energizing thing to do. And as your consciousness attunes itself, this kind of quiet comes in. This stillness, it's natural stillness, which is you. That is who you are, is that stillness. And that stillness creates that consciousness which observes these comings and goings. But that is undisturbable, that stillness. It's perfect. It's whole, it's you. And I'm hoping that as you do this, as you practice this, you'll start to feel a deeper kind of sense of peace in yourself. And if you can watch these things coming and going from this place, then just it makes life easier. And calmer, hopefully. I wish you well. We'll pick this up.